I'd like to introduce to you a statement that I heard by one of our therapists that helps facilitate our EMS weekends. He's a good friend of mine, and he said this statement, and I found it to be one of those things that I was like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, I was already on my phone working on a video blog. To some of you, it may be a little bit controversial because you may hear it and think, and I don't want you to do that. I think it's incredibly applicable to infidelity for both spouses, mostly for the unfaithful spouse, but I think it's something that can be implemented in marriage as a whole as well. You could be 5-10 years down the road, and if you are and you're still watching these videos, I really appreciate it. I'm so glad that you're here, and that shows me that you're still getting some things out of it several years down the road. If you're a few months into recovery or even a week or two, this principle will really be helpful for the unfaithful, and it will be helpful for the betrayed down the road. Now, a little bit of backdrop. I've married an incredibly stubborn woman. Samantha is absolutely beautiful, ravishing, but she's stubborn. And for a long time, I used to resist that, and I really hated it. And then I had an affair, and it became public, and we were succumbed to an immense amount of public hostility and shaming, and you would think that the trolls of the shaming world would not attack Samantha, but they did the exact opposite and attacked her, alienated her, called her incredible names like what would convey that she was mentally off for staying with me, that she was a whole host of things for even giving me another shot. She had to be stubborn. If she wasn't stubborn, I don't know that she would have pursued recovery. I don't know that she would have lasted in recovery because, as you have probably seen, I am not the easiest person to live with at times. I'm so glad that she's stubborn. I'm so thankful now that she's stubborn because her stubbornness is part of the reason that she stayed with me so long and wrestled through an incredibly difficult and challenging early recovery. So this quote, and it's really something that you need to ask yourself, and it seems a little bit humorous, but it absolutely goes right to the jugular of recovery work, and it's a statement that goes like this: what will it cost me if I don't do that? What will it cost me if I don't do this? And I think you can look at that very negatively and go, oh, that means they're begrudgingly, thinking they're leveraging out as an unfaithful if I don't do this. And I don't want you to see it that way. Even our therapist from the EMS weekend put it in such a way where it's like, look, it's all about how you're seeing it. And it's really a tool that I had to use just yesterday, and I had to use it early on. Now, I said just yesterday, I don't want you to freak out, but I'll give you a funny story. I was working from home yesterday, and Samantha texted me in the morning and said, I really am frustrated about X, and I really need this to get done. It's bothering me, and I'm not going to keep it from you. It was a toilet issue in our house where the toilet kept running. I'm really busy in life between baseball and this kind of stuff and all the other stuff that I have going on. I forget about things pretty easily, and she hates that our water bill is a little bit more than it should be, and that she cares about resources and is just a better person than I am. But she finally had gotten frustrated, and I was actually working, and I got the text message, and let's just say the text message wasn't sent graciously or perfectly. And in that moment, I was really kind of bitter. I was like, dude, I have so much going on. Really? I need to worry about this kind of stuff? And then I thought about what Wayne, one of our therapists, had said. What will it cost me if I don't do this? And it's a very practical tool, because what you have to understand is if I didn't do it, if I didn't immediately start to work on it, because she's asked me about it several times, it was going to cost me the ability to make her feel validated. It was going to cost me the ability to make her feel like I hear her concerns and I care about what her concerns are, and I'm not an arrogant jerk like I used to be that says I don't have time for these little peon things around my house. It was going to cost me the ability to really connect with Samantha and say to her in my actions, what you need matters to me and I'm going to get it done. So in the middle of the day, during my lunch break, I knocked out the toilet issues, got it fixed, works like a champ. And last night, let's just say she was wonderfully shocked and pleased that I dropped everything on my lunch break and did plumbing work. A few years ago, Samantha wanted to go to this marriage weekend getaway. It wasn't infidelity related, but it was marriage related. And I had a bunch of stuff going on, and it really wasn't convenient, and it was going to be difficult to pull off. And she asked me to go, and she said, look, I feel like we've gotten away from some of the principles that we have held true to, and I want to do this. And she said, I want us to go. And I had to think about it I said, I need to let you know in 24 hours. It's going to take a lot for me to go, but I don't know. I'll let you know tomorrow. And I had to think through this whole thing of, man, what is it going to cost me if I don't do this? And you as an unfaithful particularly, you may be in situations you don't want to do therapy, you don't want to do an EMS online group, you don't want to do a Hope for Healing group, you don't even want to go to therapy, you don't even want to talk to someone from affair recovery, you don't want to go to any kind of an accountability group, but ask yourself, what is it going to cost you by not doing that? Here's a few examples. It's going to cost you, as it cost me, or as it will cost me, the ability to really connect with your spouse. It's going to cost you the ability to show your spouse that therapy is actually working. It's going to cost you the ability to show your spouse that you're actually gaining ground in your own healing. It's going to cost you the ability to show him or her that you actually are becoming a new man or a new woman, that you are not going to go back to where you've came, that what wasn't important is now important to you. By not being willing to do a few things, it's costing you the opportunity to win, to affirm your spouse, to show them that they are actually who you want to be with.